This is part 1 of quarter 3, module 7, titled Periodic Trends. Here are two vocabulary words that we will unlock before we start. First is pattern. Pattern is a property or characteristic that is repeated in a regular time or space. For example, math. Mag-isip ka, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. You're counting by twos. So, amo ng pattern. Every two numbers, amo pag-count mo. Or 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Every 5 numbers, makount ka. Or last example, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Every 3 numbers, makount ka. That is a pattern. Next, of course, is illustrate. Illustrate means to explain by using a picture or drawing. Like for example, later on as we go along, maghatag ko explanation, magamit ko drawings, and that is an example of illustrate. Example ano ganing itsura sa balay, tapos mag-drawing ka na lang balay. That is illustration. Okay? Next. Before we dive into the discussion, let me just give you a very quick review on the important atomic details that we are going to mention as we discuss the topic on periodic trends. The first one, of course, is the neutron, the subatomic particle with neutral charge, then the proton with positive charge, the atomic nucleus, this one, the dashed circle. This is where we will find the proton and neutron. Ara sa sulod sang nucleus, nagaupod ang proton kag ang neutron. The energy levels, the rings that we were talking about, the electrons with negative charge, and the valence electrons. The valence electrons are the electrons in the outermost energy level. Ini nga mga electrons ara sa pinakagwa nga energy level sang isa ka atom. What are periodic trends? Periodic trends are patterns that illustrate the characteristics of the elements. There are 4 major periodic trends: the atomic radius, metallic property, ionization energy, and electron negativity. We're going to discuss the atomic radius and metallic property first. The first two periodic trends that we are going to discuss are atomic radius and metallic property. Remember that for atomic radius, the lesser the protons, the bigger the atom. And for metallic property, the bigger the atom becomes, the more metallic it also becomes. These two periodic trends move across the periodic table from right to left and from top to bottom down a group. Why is atomic radius and metallic property increasing from right to left across a period? First, because of the decreasing number of protons inside the nucleus. Magsiling ta decreasing, nagadjutay or naganubo. For example, there is a right side or sa tuo, there are 7 protons followed by 5, and then to the left, tatlo ang protons ang ini nga atom. So, kay tungod nga 7, diri ang protons, 7 man ni sila ang mabutong sa valence electron pasulod sa atom, palapit sa nucleus. Dili naman 5 lang sila. And then, sa last one, 3 lang ka protons ang mabutong sa ini nga valence electron palapit sa nucleus. Because 3 lang ni sila ka protons ang nagbutong, that means there is a lesser nuclear pool. And because of that, ang ini nga valence electron is far from the nucleus. Mas layo. And because mas layo ang ini nga valence electron, this will make this atom bigger compared to the other atoms to the right side of the periodic table. And of course, because nga layo ni ang ini nga valence electron sa iyang nucleus, mas hapos sa ini nga valence electron mag-escape, making this specific element more metallic than the other elements to the right side of the periodic table. Let me explain how atomic radius and metallic property increase from top to bottom down a group. First is because they're increasing energy levels. Damo ni sila ho ang energy levels. That's why mas damo ang electrons sa sulod. Remember, ang ini nga mga valence electrons ginapull sang protons pasulod. That's what you call the nuclear pull. Pero because there are so many electrons inside, the nuclear pool can be blocked by these electrons. That's why imbis na kusog ang nuclear pool, naga-decrease or naga-hinay ang pool. Because of that, these valence electrons outside no sa layer sa pinaka-last, mas layo siya sa iya nga nucleus diri. Tungod sina, nagadako ang ini nga atomic radius. And because dako ang atomic radius, kaglayo ang valence electrons sa nucleus, mas dasig madula ang ini nga mga valence electron, making this element more metallic than the rest. You are given 7 seconds to answer each example. Remember first that the atomic radius and metallic property increase from right to left, across a period, and from top to bottom down a group. Let's start. 7 seconds starts now. Which between copper, iron, and calcium has the biggest atomic radius? If you answered calcium, you're correct. Next. 7 seconds starts now. Between oxygen, lithium, and boron, which has the biggest atomic radius? If you answered lithium, you're right. Next. 7 seconds starts now. Between aluminum, silver, and gold, which is most metallic? If you answered gold, you're right. Next. 7 seconds starts now. Among francium, potassium, and sodium, which is the most metallic? If you answered francium, you're right. If you got 4, very good. You've got 5 seconds to remember how to illustrate the periodic trends atomic radius and metallic property by using arrows. 5 seconds starts now. Okay, so I shall show you. This is how the arrows should be drawn across the periodic table like that, because these two trends, atomic radius and metallic property, increase from right to left across a period and top to bottom down a group. Or if you choose to illustrate it this way, it should be a straight line, of course, like that. That is fine. Then another arrow like this down is also okay. So if you did that way, it's so fine. I hope that you learned something today, and I know that you will be able to perform well in our class activities. See you in class, everyone. That's all for today. Bye!